And we're back to another episode of the Let's Play Shining Force Final Conflict. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and we've gotten characters roughly to 13, 14. The XP is slowing down a little bit. Newer enemies are given around 30, so that's probably our point to move on. Ian and Paige are probably the furthest behind when it comes to actual experience, but they're still level 13. I think Paige has 30-something XP and Ian's at 50, so... And then Julia, I think, is not as far back. Yeah, she's gonna level soon. So yeah, and also I did forget to mention last episode, and I decided to do it while I was grinding. You can actually get a steel sword from this well, and you can get a robin arrow from this well that you can find and equip right away. But like I said, as we progress and get further, the weapons are eventually going to be unequipable by our current character levels, so something to keep in mind as we progress. But yeah, just in general, we're getting there. We are getting there. And like I said, depending on how I feel and how much grinding I'm willing to subject myself to, we're either going to promote at level 15-ish, or I will take them to 20. I haven't decided yet. But because because of Shining Force Final Conflict and Shining Force CD and stuff, of games that I may not really revisit that much, because they're fine games, but I do prefer Shining Forces 1 and 2 and 3 over these Game Gear ones, because Shining Force CD is the remakes of the Game Gear classics and whatnot. It may be worth it just to put in that little extra effort, especially because it's also a shorter Shining game than most other Shining games, so you know, get our time in on it to maximize what we can and cannot do. But yeah, there's some elements to it that would be interesting to try and kind of fight our way through. But see, yeah, killing the knights gives 1 XP. That's abysmal. Ruberan's 14, so even if he kills this bad, he's probably only going to get 1 XP or so. Yeah. So yeah, even the bats are kind of hurting at this point. With Howl, we can get Freeze level 2, but again, there's not much of a point, because Freeze level 2 really didn't seem to do much more damage than Blaze level 2, but it costs more. So there's not a lot of reason to force that, right? Really? But in general, you know, we're not in a bad place. The priests give about 17 a kill, so they don't give very much either. Hence why it's better that we start moving on, because in the next fight there's going to be new enemy types to level, in a sense, level off of. And then I would even say we might hold off into the next chapter, give or take. So right now, Ian has the steel sword, because Ian needs the steel sword to be on par with everybody else. His last couple level ups have not been good, so hopefully we will turn that franchise around with regards to his lack of performance that we're currently subjecting ourselves to. But it shouldn't be a problem once we get a little bit more control over his leveling. But yeah, Sylvia's doing fine so far. You know, her and what's his name, are doing really good. Mead. I don't know why I can't think of that name. I like mead, it's delicious. But you can see 4 XP for just an attack it's not terrible, but it's definitely not good. So yeah, it wouldn't hurt for us to progress a little bit further, and we're still doing good damage to these enemies. So that's the other thing that kind of rears its ugly head in other Shining installments like Shining Force 2 and 1. When you start leveling characters and you can't get them the new gear that's available because that new gear is for promoted character types, you run into an issue of your weapon, even though you're still leveling and you're high level before promotion, your damage starts to wane. You're not doing as much damage as you would be if you were promoted, because if you were promoted, you'd have access to better weapons. And so battles tend to drag on a bit in those later game areas, whereas in the Gaiden games it's not as common because you don't really start getting those games until those weapons till halfway through the game, or at least it feels like it's about halfway through the game. You could argue it's earlier than that even, but I wouldn't say it is by much. But yeah, you know, enemies aren't hitting us that hard yet, though the magic is probably the most dangerous element that we have to deal with, is being hit by magic attacks and breath attacks as well. So luckily those are non-issues for the moment. Where's the... Okay, he either has to go this way and fight, or... But we can... You know what? He can weaken the soldier. There we go. And then Cynthia. Let's get that priest. Worth more XP anyway. Yeah, 14 XP for a priest is pretty abysmal. Again, that's why we're trying to progress forward here. Howl probably will level from this. So yeah, we did 10 with Blaze 2, so it's weird that we're only doing 11. You would think Ice would do more, but for some reason I think there's a weird balancing with Blaze 2 and Freeze 2 in Shining Force Final Conflict versus other Shining games. But again, it's not a reason to be concerned or anything like that. So you can see 15 XP from a bat, and bats are still going to be showing up in the next fight. Same with the priests, and I believe hobgoblins as well. Pretty much everything here is going to be in the next battle, except for the knights and the mages, because I think we're going to get something else to rear its ugly head when we start facing mage. There's going to be a new mage type, or a new caster type coming up, so... Alright, Julia leveled. We got 20-something for the kill. So, like I said, these dudes are giving us something to work with. Again, I don't like being hit by magic, so let's remove that immediately. 1 XP, yeah. Pretty abysmal, but that's why we're making our soundest efforts to move along here. You know what? It's only 1 XP no matter who kills it. Get it out of there. She needs to be healed anyway. By either Knuckles or Cynthia. Oh. We do need to get Paige and we do need to get Paige and Ian to level 14 if we can. Yeah, I don't know. Normally I don't falter on casters so much, but lately, on the leaders, the heroes, but for some reason I've just been like lethargic to getting anything done with Ian. I can't explain why. Let's just weaken it at this point. There we go. We'll throw some healing around. And blast level 2, that's kind of what we're hoping for. That'll be really nice. Hits 14. Got 12 HP. We'll leave him for Ian. Because if anybody's going to get any good damage, it's going to be him. Again, we can try to take out this Dark Mage right away. Because even without a Kiddo can do it. And then we can pull Kiddo back for some healing, because he'll probably need it. And there goes a hobgoblin. Not enough to level. 14, yeah, and we're still gonna see hobgoblins, so like I said, I could force the issue of leveling here, but it would take a long time, and we'd probably tap out at about 15 anyway. So it makes more sense to move a little further in the game and knock out more and knock out the rest, you know. The other thing too is we're gonna get an actual character we're gonna want to use coming up soon, so, and that technically 2 characters, so we're definitely gonna want to get kind of busy with that to a mild degree. You know, bats aren't worth very much, are they? But it's almost dead. What about you? You can see what these guys are gonna give, but again, it's gonna be not enough. 18, yeah. It's all slowing down. And because Paige is asleep, I can't get him to do much. Strangely enough, he moved, but he didn't attack anything. Alright, Knuckles hits level 14. Good. Means I think only Cynthia's level 13. No, she's 14 too. I feel like somebody needs healing, I just don't remember who. Probably Ian. No, not really. Alright, well, pretty sure. No, really nobody does. Then we'll range attack then. I'm not gonna use Blast 2 just because too much MP. And Cynthia doesn't have a lot. She's probably gonna be a major candidate for MP growth. Next to maybe Ian, arguably. It's because there's just not a lot to work with. We can at least use our casters to weaken enemies in order for other characters to pick them off, but the bats, because they put stuff to sleep, I'm a little reluctant to partially want to leave them around, but I guess we will, because if Ian, as long as Ian gets to hit, he'll kill it. And there's a level for Ian. Already doing better. Boy, they're still opening to get that hobgoblin. Yeah, Kiddo is just one shot and stuff, but one XP for the priest, not gonna fly. I know I keep bringing that up, but it's like, I need to hammer home that we're definitely too strong for this area. Currently, and I've only repeated this battle 2 times, maybe? Plus the time you saw me, so 3 total. So it didn't take long to really get caught up. So it's not like I grinded for an hour. I grinded for like 20 minutes. Maybe 30. So we only got these 2 dudes left. Paige finally woke up, but he's going to be the furthest behind, so we'll just make sure we get more use out of him in the upcoming fight. Make sure he fights, he takes on the weaker stuff, because he'll get the most XP from it compared to everyone else. 1 level's, again, not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about being 1 level behind, you know, everyone else. Especially for a frontliner like Paige. He's the least of my concerns. We're also going to get a new character after this fight, so I think I said we were going to get it last fight, but clearly I was wrong. May as well let her work on that, because I forget Sylvia's still 13. There we go, 14. And for those of you wondering, 36-22, 36-26, and then we have 12 and 12, so 27 HP versus 27, so they're very close in level. But Sylvia's starting to pull ahead, so that's something I gotta keep an eye on. Like I said, one of the two of them is coming out at some point. Not right away. We gotta worry about who's coming out at the end of the next fight, I think. But we'll worry about that then. Like I said, there's only 2 characters worthy of being swapped in. And you gotta remember, they're gonna be pre-promoted characters, so they come with their own bag of... their own baggage, so to speak, of questionableness. Of should you bring them in or not. And again, it's entirely up to you. Theoretically, you don't need to. You could just stick with this force and be relatively satisfied and happy. But ultimately, there is a reason to make that leap. As I've really just blocked myself from healing anybody.
Impossible. They defeated my troops again. I should have known that Lynx's absence was the fatal flaw in my plan. But remember this, you barely escape with your lives.
I keep saying that, but then I keep murdering his dudes. I should have known this was a trap.
Hey, over here. Hurry up and open this gate.
It's neat that you'll finally get to see a class of, or a race of characters that you can play as who are, I would say, related to Elliot from the first game.
Thank goodness you're alright. I didn't expect you to defeat the devil army under these circumstances.
You're the one who Magus was pursuing.
That's right, I'm Eric. I joined the devil army to see Mashila. They discovered my real intentions and took me before Magus.
So why do you want to see Mashila?
My father, Elliot... there you go. My father, Elliot, worked for King Ramladu, but the devil army manipulated the king and made him a wicked man.
My master, Max, told me of Elliot. He was a proud warrior.
He knew the king was wrong, but he never betrayed his king.
I see. But despite that,
father should have fought against the devil army. I want to defeat the devil army. Please let me join you.
So Eric the Dragon Soldier has joined the force. So yeah, see, look at all the continuations of storylines here. So we now know Elliot had a kid.
Since Mound and its people are safe and peaceful again, we should stay here and heal any injuries before we begin our journey.
And so, yeah, so he's actually gonna fill out the party completely, I believe. And as far as weaponry goes, shouldn't be anything new. We can sell, we have an extra longsword and arrow in our inventory, so we're definitely gonna dump that stuff. Now, Eric does come with a steel sword, but we're gonna check his stats. He's a flying unit, and that's one of the things to argue for is who's gonna be better, Julia or Eric? Because Kiddo's tearing it up, you know. It's a steel arrow for Robin arrow. I think we're good. Got some antidotes floating around. I actually think we'll pick up some healing seeds. I'm gonna sell the antidote here. It's just taking up space. Poison can be an issue, but most of the time it's not. And yeah, so. No. I do want something that heals a bit better than healing herbs. Since we have extra money sitting around, it wouldn't hurt. There we go. Now let's take a look at some stats here. Any deals that are... Ooh, no. shouldn't be much in here. Yeah, not really. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at... Okay. So his attack's 35, we're at 36. Kiddo is at 41. This is where I'm talking about with Kiddo being like the legitimate character, which is why Julia's most likely coming out. Her damage is on par with Eric, and theoretically promoted characters get leveled at 10. So really he's 2 levels behind Julia and he's on par with Julia. The only negative is his movement isn't as good. Now, to be fair to Julia, Eric's got the steel sword on, but ultimately I think Eric will outperform Julia in the long run here. So again, that's my criticism of that. And then the next character we get is going to replace Julia for sure. So that's just going forward kind of a thing, a little bit of a prediction. And to be fair, let me just see. I don't think anybody's hurt. Let's make a save. And you know what? I think I'm gonna move us into the next fight here. And because to be fair, we don't really have to level in this fight. This is simply disastrous, Magus. Do you think your failure can be excused?
But if Lynch had followed my plan, it would have worked.
That's just an excuse, Magus. You poor excuse for a man.
Next time I'll send my strongest unit to hunt them down and attack.
If you fail to finish them next time, the consequences will be dire. This is getting serious. If you want, I can help you.
Excuse me? You are the one who got me into this fix.
I will not stoop so low as to use traps, even if it is by Mistress Michila's command.
Is that what you call chivalry? Fine then, I won't ask you again. Lynx, get out of my sight immediately.
If that's what you want. Magus, I wish you well in your war.
Did he leave? Finally. That Michila too. Only foul words come out of her mouth. No, the foul things come out of me butt cheeks though, that's really up. Soon I, the great Magus, will show them how powerful I really am. I will lead my troops to great victory, dealing death with every blow.
This is the northernmost part of Permisian continent. Grants is already within our reach. This must be the place God Volcanon told us about.
I've been waiting for... I've been waiting for you.
It's you, Magus.
So you've joined them, have you, Eric? If so, all the more convenient for me. I must praise you for making it this far. But you've walked into my trap, and now I shall send you to your graves.
Ian, I wouldn't put it past that guy to use foul play. Please be careful of his filthy trap. So, this battle will be interesting, for what it's worth. We got one chest, which is really useful. 2 chests, which are both really useful. One, I think, is a weapon for Paige, and I think the other one is... I want to say it's a spear. But again, I'm not going to worry too much about it at this particular time, because there's not much to say beyond that. We just need to make sure we get them. And as for enemies, we have hobgoblins. Oh, there's our new caster there, the witch. which I believe they will use Ice Blaze 3. Never mind. I'm thinking of Shining Force 2. And then we have the Harpies, who are flying enemies. We've got these Golems, who are pretty nasty. I only see one, but I believe we've got some that are going to spawn in. So, just to keep that in mind. And again, we could grind from this fight. It's kind of up to you if you really want to. Because the next fight is, though it's outdoors, the terrain, if my memory serves me right, isn't that terrible. And we could do some leveling from that. And then there's even a following fight that could even be leveled from as well. So it's really kind of up in the air. But I wouldn't grind this particular battle, just from the nature of it. And by somewhere in chapter 3, which is the next chapter coming up, we're definitely going to be investing in leveling our characters to promote them, because we're going to get to a point where once we get to a point where we need characters to promote in order to equip weapons is really when promotion has to occur. So we are going to make that effort. So, there we go. Here it comes some more. The vampire bats are pretty dated at this point. And like I said, getting characters to 14 in this fight is going to take priority. But in the next few fights, we're going to start seeing a lot more new enemies. Which are going to grant us much better XP amounts. We just aren't there yet. So that's kind of why I'm willing to do this battle in the same episode as the last one, even though it'll drag a little bit this episode out a little long. It's probably for the best to just get it over with. Ah. You know what? He's probably a really good candidate for the quick ring. I might give it to him. My memory is that Eric's pretty slow. Nice. And we do want Eric to get some of the kills in this fight for sure, even over some of the other characters, because he's, again, about 2 levels behind if you're counting 10 plus 2. He's actually 3, because when you promote at level 1, so he's really 3 levels behind everybody else. So if we want him to be technically caught up, we're gonna need to level him up a little further. My phone is constantly, it's work constantly trying to get a hold of me. So, anywho. And Julia fell asleep, that's fine. Paige needs to level as well. Ruberon's pretty beefy on his own, so... We also need to send some a group of characters to the north. Probably send Mead and Ruberon, and maybe even Kiddo that way. Oh, Kiddo, you bastard. Yep, yeah, she's asleep. Okay, move Sylvia north. Yeah, the movement here is pretty terrible for centaur units. But that is what it is. Which is weird because it doesn't seem like there's a terrain issue. Like, this terrain does this no benefits or negatives, but for some reason it's hard to maneuver through. Which many would find peculiar. See, he's still gonna get good XP from these enemies, so it's kind of why it's worth that little bit of effort here. To let him get some of the kills off of stuff our normal characters wouldn't level from. He needs the XP regardless of what I think. Okay, come on. One XP. Yeah. You better be careful, because that caster there, that witch has fire 3. So we'll probably gun for her right away with whoever can reach her, pretty much. We're not going to take any chances with magic. Full XP, so that's a good sign. But probably only full XP for like 1 level, so meh. Luckily, Ian's a little tank there. We'll let Paige fight other stuff, really. Give him something to do. Yay for that. Oh, kiddo, come on. Gotta hit that harpy. So he took a crit for 3 damage, so now I know we're doing pretty good. When crits only do nominal damage. I'm actually okay with that. This page needs to do damage. He needs to fight stuff that's stronger than where he's at. Hopefully Eric hits the kill here. Sweet. 30 XP, so not full XP for the bats, even for Eric who just joined the party. Gives you an idea of what we're working with here. Soften up this harpy for Paige, who Sonnet now levels up. It's always good. And there it is. Now Paige is caught up, but he's still behind comparatively to everyone else, but he's at least caught up. Or closer to being caught up. That's not good to have Ian asleep like he is right now. Eric will pick this guy off. You know, like I said, Eric's about 3 levels behind the party, so anytime we can level him up, we're going to try to do it. Right about there, just to make sure. We slowly will move all of our characters to this grassy area here with the trees for protection from the ground units. It's because this terrain is so awful, we want to get off of it. And looky here. Stuff for Eric to work on. Give or take. It's debatable. Ruberen's right there, so we'll let him work on this golem. He should get some XP from that. Though he has to kill it. Now he wakes up. Should be fine, but you know what? Send Eric to help. There's a battle axe. And you can see Ruberen's not going to have any problems. Might actually send him after the priest. Just to kind of ensure that he doesn't get in the way. Golem's not a problem. So... or at least for Ruberen. Even Cynthia's melee attack's pretty good. I like when that works out. We'll leave Eric to take out that archer. And there's a power spear. That actually worked out in our favor, so Kiddo can come back pretty much ready to fight whatever else we need him to. Paige has been poisoned, usually not a good thing with a squishier enemy character type. Well, or low health, high defense character. Chuck, 24 XP for a new enemy, not good. Again, but like I said, that's why we're gonna let this episode go long here, because we're gonna get through this fight. There's no reason to grind here. The terrain is not good. It's not good for grinding. And of course there's a boss here, so we may as well get the most out of this zone, so to speak. My concern is that witch that's coming towards us is not going to be good. Gosh, I probably should have used fire. At least they didn't go after Paige, because they should all survive. I'm putting them dangerously low. If Kiddo can work on this hobgoblin, we'll send what's her name to deal with the mage. And then we're really gonna be good, I believe. Magus has freeze too, so he's gonna be the only real threat after we clear out a lot of these enemies. That's fine. That's very fine. So now, Paige is one of our heaviest hitters. We could straight up almost insta-gib that witch. Almost. We need to do some healing, that's for sure. Yeah, we're moving on. You know, it's pretty abysmal when you're not getting anything decent at all. She needs to be healed. We'll leave her there next to Numbnuts. Sonic could use a healing. We'll put her there so she can be reached, and Mead needs to be able to be reached as well, so have Knuckles kind of be the centerpiece there. There's a lot of healing that needs to go around right now. The enemies are moving in, so we got to deal with that. Bottom. Still gonna stand there, so we're not hurting yet. Or having to worry about getting hit by a caster. What we were waiting for here. Trying to provoke the priest and Magus here, because that's really, if we can provoke them south, that'll put us in a good position. Power Spear is going to do a lot of damage too. He's still gonna hang out up there. And we're to see if we can incite them to come after us. They should come at us now. Which isn't great because I'm not quite ready for it, but I want Eric to get that level. An easy XP level. Kind of reduce Magus down to just a healer and one of his other units. We don't want to end up getting hit by some nasty AoE. Okay. As we get some boss damage in there. Let's take out the priest so that way Magus won't get any healing support. Which is strongly recommended. Once his ability to heal is removed, Magus is pretty much a pushover. Just whittling his health down. He's gonna give pretty good XP too, so. Nice crit. This could end it right here. And it does. And Paige hits 15. Sweet. That means I don't have to worry about him.
My elite team has been defeated. Those fools. Perhaps those guys really are the Shining Force. Lynx, I beg you, please capture my enemies.
Died like a bitch. Magus, that terrible coward, had it coming. But we're not there yet, Ian. We still have to find Master Max. Well done, Ian. That's not God Volcanon's voice. I am Matula. Volcanon sends his heartfelt gratitude. I've been watching over you from my country, Tristan. Eric comes from Tristan, a country with a goddess. Are you the goddess he's talking about? Goddess Metula. I, along with Volcanon, am also your ally. Ian, you must prevent the devil's revival. The time is approaching steadily. So you're Goddess Metula. Tell me, what has happened to Master Max? Max was defeated in a battle on Grand's Island. What? Master Max defeated? Then they disappeared. I believe they are waiting for a chance to counterattack. Max must be waiting for you there. Master Max is waiting for us. Max's power is gone. You are now the forces of light. We are the Shining Force. That's right. Ian, before you go on your search for Max, I must give you this, the Necklace of Light. According to legend, its radiance has been waiting for you. The Necklace of Light became attached to Ian's chest. You must go to Grand's Island. I'll arrange for a magician from Tristan to go with you. I'm afraid to say my powers are limited and are being obstructed, but I'll be praying for your safety. Oakley dokley. Even if this magician from Tristan joins us, we still don't know how we're going to get to Grand's Island. Use the Nazca ship. Nazca ship? The ancients built it, a vehicle to fly in the air. I'm Minto, a magician from Metula's country of Tristan. I came to explain to you the legend of the Nazca ship. So you're from Tristan, but what Nazca ship? Where is it? It's right here. It's the very ground beneath us will fly. It is the ship. As your friend and ally, please allow me to come along with you. So Minto the Wizardess has joined the force. So yes, having two magic casters who are potent is going to be paramount. Hence why Julia is probably going to come out now. This is the entrance to the Nazca ship. Please follow me. So yeah, that's just going to be how that's going to play out. To me, magic goes pretty far. Minto placed a jewel sparkling with light on the ground. The Nazca ship is ready to fly. Well, everyone, let's all get in. And up, and away. Ian and the Force are heading towards dark clouds as the Devil Army's plot for Grand's Island develops. And thus, Chapter 2 ends. Target Grand's Island. That's right, we're on our way there now. And we'll record our adventure. And Chapter 3, Ambition of the Devil Army. Ian and the others flew across to Grand's Island in the Nazca ship, a flying ship made by the ancients. However, Grand's is a savage land with monsters roaming free. This is a very remote place. It seems quite rough, doesn't it? How uncivilized. I really don't understand what would make anyone want to come here. This mist is very thick. It's quite mysterious. I'd call it suspicious rather than mysterious. We've been eagerly awaiting your arrival. As the mist clears to show us tons and tons of monsters. It seems as though the Devil Army has been lurking in the mist. Once our spies informed us that you were heading for Grand's, we laid in wait for you. We thought you'd crawl by some time, and it's just as we thought. Now it's time for us to defeat you in battle. And so one thing you'll notice right away is Minto is not in our party because we've hit party maximum size. Or maximum party size. So it is in our best interest to swap her in because she will not just level nicely alongside Eric, she will give us access to more magic damage, which we definitely want. So with that said, guys, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jacktar Studios for more live gaming action, because when we come back, this is another battle I strongly feel that we'll just fight our way through, with a focus on Minto and Eric to level up and whatnot. And before we get too far, I do want to point out the issues that many would argue. So Kiddo is at 41 and Julie is at 36. Yeah, Kiddo's better in defense and offense, and the agility is nominal, so that's why she's just gotta come out. She's gonna be falling behind pretty quick. It's not fair to compare Mead or Sylvia yet. And already Eric, who's still technically 2 levels behind Julia, he's catching up just as much. The only difference is his move's not as good. And yes, he's got the steel sword, and I get that, but my point still stands. He'll be easier to level than Julia. And I don't see Julia stats necessarily getting better, so we're definitely going to swap her out for Minto. So if you're wondering about Minto, we'll take a look at her really quick. Before we go into the fight again. So she's got the power stick. She has freeze level 3 and bolt 1. So already she's technically kind of able to outperform Howl to a degree. She's more versatile than Howl too. And if worse comes to worse and we need to take Howl out, we will. But I don't see that being a thing. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. When we come back, we'll be tackling this next fight. Just fighting our way through it for a couple of fights. Because, like I said, promotion's around the corner. And it's, well, and when I say around the corner, I don't mean it literally, but we are getting to a point where we got to start considering it to some degree, how we want to promote and when we want to promote and all of that. And there is going to be a fight in this chapter that's going to be optimal for doing that. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you guys next time.